Stephen Conroy is here with the wonderful Bronwyn Bishop. Now, I've got a little more from Megan Kelly in a second about old mate Joe Biden. Wow. I just love this, right? Presidential health checks, right? They do them every year and they stand up there and they read every single, their heart rate, this, that and the other. Oh, but he hasn't had a PSA tested. Okay. Now, Stephen, we saw today the boss of the Labor Party standing out there, day on the stage to say, we're amazing, we won. I tried to sort of push away as much of the stuff that was just repetition of what we had heard during the campaign. I showed the 5 things that he says about how they won, which I think were instructive to learning. Did you learn anything that you did not already know today?
Well, only my admiration for Paul's campaign strategy, tactics and implementation. As you said, 6 months ago they started a plan. They devised what worked for Labor, what didn't work for Dutton, and they hammered them for 6 months. That is the art of successful politics. You have to, over and over again, send the message, because not every Australian follows, like you and I do, Paul, Correct. Or Bronwyn, every single newspaper, every single day, or online. You have just got to keep repeating your messages. So just great admiration for the way there was a campaign set out, implemented, followed through, enhanced, and he was behind that entire strategy. And it's not easy to get politicians, to pay attention when you try. So, hats off to him. He's a sensational national secretary, and now he's run 2 successful campaigns.
But now is he too successful to put in the Senate? Is he now too successful to make a senator? Because isn't that normally the payoff?
That is often something that people respect and admire about a national secretary, and many of them for good reason. And Paul is absolutely in that category.
Okay, but you want to talk about the Senate?
If I could just add one Senate, the one Senate one I would add for exactly the same reasons you've just described, is at the moment Labor is ahead in Victoria's number 3, and people sort of go, they're going to win. But again, on exactly the same basis, Paul, if you take the now growing surplus of the Libs, add it to One Nation, take the trumpet of Patriots, add it to One Nation, and a couple of other of those smaller parties and add it to One Nation, then One Nation, I think, gets above our 3rd Senate count. Now, below the line will be critical. This is not a big margin, but I think on the above the line, Pauline Hanson's candidate does end up possibly above Labor's, but there's still a fair bit to happen.
Yeah, good point.
So I'd watch that one too.
Yeah, all right. Now, Bronwyn, we know about the Teal scenario here, where lose one, win one, right, in terms of Bradfield and Goldstein. But where they did try to have a little bite into Labor, they weren't successful. But that was in a place like Fremantle. What about where they won and where they didn't tells you something about their future?
Well, it tells me, and tells me from being on booths and being out campaigning, what the Teals have done is gather around them a lot of retired people who were very much like the people who were recruited as volunteers to the 2000 Olympics. Suddenly, they were important. They had a mission. They put them in a shirt, they had a uniform. And they used to go out in groups, and they were dead supporters of what they were doing.
And of course.
And these are the same people who are the essence. And those were Liberal voters. I had people on booths in Mackellar say, wearing the teal T-shirt, we used to vote for you, but now we vote for her.
Why?
Well, because they feel loved and needed and wanted and important.
So you're saying about the individual supporter, that level of micro interest in the community.
Yes, and they go out and they have coffee together and they meet together and they go out and wave things up together. I perhaps did it a little differently. I used to do cake and coffee things, but that was different. But it worked.
You would have tucked them into bed at night. I know how you would have. You're like Stephen. Stephen wouldn't have tucked him into bed at night. He just would have stood on the front step and go, remember, I'm here. I know where you are. Everyone okay? Everyone in line? Good.
Yeah, so,
yes.
But
it's a good message, though, you're saying.
And it is the essence of what they're doing. Now, just remember those people who were the volunteers in the Olympics were still having reunions 10 years later.
Yes.
And the other thing is they're all in socio-economic electorates that are well off. and they're the people they talk to.
Well, it sounds like all you've got to do is design a tracksuit and win them back.
Well, you've got to win them back, but it doesn't just happen. You've got to work hard.
Yes, I think it might be some distance. All right, nice to talk to you both. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. Thank you for your insights tonight. This is what I love about all the people that are part of the Paul Murray Life family. They've been there, they've done it, they've seen it, and they can give us an insight into what's really going on.